Yeah, hi everyone, it's Jeff from Virtual EMDR. In this video, we're going to do our best to answer some questions about self-administered EMDR therapy. Is it a good idea for you to do it? Is it safe? And is it effective? Let's walk through some of the different parts of these questions and hopefully give you enough information so that you can decide this for yourself. Okay, so before we get started, as I always do, I'm going to quickly go over what EMDR is and how it's used. EMDR stands for eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, and it's a type of therapy that's been used by millions of people all over the world to treat trauma, anxiety, depression, grief, PTSD, and even addictions. It's normally done in a therapist's office, with the client being guided through the process by the therapist. A little bit about me. I'm the founder of a company called Virtual EMDR, and our program is an online version of EMDR therapy that you can use at home without needing a therapist to assist you. All you need is a screen and some headphones to do your session. Over the last 10 years, Virtual EMDR has provided more than 50,000 successful EMDR sessions, and we've grown to become the world's largest provider of EMDR. So to answer the question about is EMDR a good idea to do on your own, the answer is yes, but not for everyone. There really isn't a simple cut and dried answer to this question, but in this video I'm going to do my best to honestly provide guidance on who self-guided EMDR can work for and to not try to have any bias in my opinion about this. Self-administered EMDR sessions can work really well for people as a supplement to current therapy, and it can also help people who have had EMDR in the past. But for some people who just go out and take the initiative and go out on their own and start doing a self-guided EMDR, they can find it to be incredibly helpful as well. First, let's get this idea of a safety issue out of the way. There is nothing unsafe about EMDR or about self-administered EMDR, nothing. Yes, some emotional distress or discomfort may occur during your session, but that's only a natural part of the process of your brain and nervous system working through whatever problem or issue you're trying to address in your therapy session. Just some feelings, nothing more. There is no research at all, and a lot of research has been done on EMDR to support the idea that it is somehow unsafe to clients. Here's the best answer to the question of is EMDR safe? If EMDR was in any way actually dangerous, don't you think there would be government restrictions of some sort put on the process to keep people safe? Well, there are no restrictions, zero, in the United States, the UK, Canada, France, Germany, Australia, etc., any other country around the world, zero. This is because it's completely safe to do. Now let's talk about, is self-administered EMDR effective? The answer is an overwhelming yes. At Virtual EMDR, we carefully track different metrics from every session that our clients complete, and we then use that data to determine how well our program works and to even improve our program so that it works better. Virtual EMDR, again, provides more EMDR sessions than any other organization in the world, and as such, we have more data on EMDR than any other organization in the world. We use this data carefully to ensure our program works just as well as EMDR with a therapist. There are some questions that you can ask yourself beforehand that may help to determine if doing EMDR on your own is a good fit for you. And these are the exact same questions that you would be asked if you were doing an intake session with an EMDR therapist in their office. The first thing to consider is how well you're able to tolerate and regulate your emotions. For some people with PTSD or even people with complex PTSD, if you're unable to allow yourself to feel some negative feelings or to have thoughts about bad or uncomfortable things that may have happened to you in the past, then you may need to instead do EMDR with a therapist at your side or have someone to talk to as these emotions come up. We find that the vast majority of people who use virtual EMDR, though, they have no problems with experiencing their own emotions and have the fortitude to sit with their feelings without needing someone there to accompany them while they're having those feelings. Second, you may want to consider how well you're able to function on a day-to-day basis. If you're extremely hopeless or depressed, then chances are you won't actually make an effort to do the self-guided EMDR sessions, and you'll need the additional structure that can be brought by having therapy access to EMDR. Third, do you feel safe having your emotions? In order to successfully do EMDR on your own, you'll need to think about and even face some uncomfortable things that have happened to you in the past. If you're unable to allow yourself to feel safe and recognize that these are just emotions and that these feelings cannot hurt you, then perhaps self-administered EMDR is not for you. But to be clear, based on our research, again of about 50,000 EMDR sessions, we find that only a very small number of people who fit these criteria and cannot do EMDR on their own. The overwhelming majority of people can use virtual EMDR and get results that are comparable to doing EMDR sessions with a therapist. And for some people, by the way, who have extremely traumatic pasts, the guidance of a therapist during EMDR will be pretty important. But even these people can do self-administered EMDR as a complement to their therapy program that they're going through with an EMDR therapist. This might not be the straightforward yes or no answer that you'd hoped for, but I don't think it's as easy as yes or no. You would need to try self-administered EMDR, read the directions, make an honest effort to follow the steps that the program walks you through, and then decide how much it's improving you in order to be able to accurately decide for yourself if it fits you. My company, Virtual EMDR, offers everyone a 3-day free trial, no strings attached. So technically, you could try an EMDR on your session, an EMDR session on yourself 3 days in a row for free before you make the decision to pay anything, or continue instead to find an in-person EMDR therapist. Besides the convenience of being able to do an EMDR session whenever you want or whenever your symptoms strike, one of the biggest advantages of self-guided EMDR is the cost. A complete series of EMDR sessions with a therapist, including background and resourcing sessions and session preparation, and then finally the actual EMDR sessions, can cost as much as $2,000. On the other hand, the virtual EMDR program you can use to work through all the sessions you want for an entire month for only $69. And if you need further guidance, you can also sign up for some add-on coaching sessions if you feel like you need a little bit more help with the program. So I want to mention that there are EMDR tools also that you will find on YouTube for free, but these aren't really EMDR and in some ways may hinder you more than they can help because they don't actually do the steps of an EMDR session. So if you want to try virtual EMDR, there's a link below this video, or if you prefer, you can find an EMDR therapist in your area. Thank you so much for listening.